the topic of Ubiquiti, UniFi, UAP-AC wireless access points. 3 versions of it here. They come at different price points, with different attributes, and they're suitable for a number of different applications. But basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to take in a LAN cable, convert it to a Wi-Fi hotspot. And normally you could use these in your homes. You could fit them on the ceiling, put them on a wall, something like that. There's a whole range of different ways you could use it. Offers environment, things like that. Trying to keep a smooth access point type environment there for your Wi-Fi. So just going through from the highest to the top, from the lowest to the top spec. This unit here is called the LITE, okay? This one here is called LR, long range, and this one here is called the Pro. In terms of what comes with it, the basic unit is the unit you see in here. So the LITE is the smallest, the long range one is a little bit larger, and this one here is the largest. The design is basically the same. If we just turn it over here, this is the bracket that would use the screws that come with it to mount it to a wall or a ceiling, okay? You take that little unit off there if you wish to, and we have a LAN connection here. We just connect it in, okay? And it's PoE normally, so what's feeding in the power, or the data will also be feeding in the power. So with the 2 basic units here, you will get a PoE switch with it. So a PoE switch simply has a power input here, and what it has is a LAN connection goes in here. Power has been juiced in this end, so the cable that actually goes into the unit itself will be have both power and also the Wi-Fi or the internet connection for you, basically, which you're able to push back out at that point. Now it's by default on the LITE, on the long range, but not on the Pro. And the reason I would give it as an option on the Pro is that they've just changed this product spec recently, actually, and they don't give it anymore because normally with the Pro setup, people are trying to get higher speeds, things like that, and they normally have, let's say, a PoE switch. So they just power directly at the PoE switch, so the power unit they were finding people were buying and throwing out. So we're just putting it in as an added extra, and people can either buy the power unit or not. So why would you choose one over the other, okay? Well, let's just go through really quickly. Which can you use indoors? You can use all 3 indoors. Which can you use outdoors? The only one that's actually rated for outdoor use is this one here. But depending on the environment, you might possibly get away with these as outdoor if it's in a fairly sheltered area. In terms of the speeds, well, all 3 will cover both the 2.4 gigahertz and also the 5 gigahertz range. But in terms of the speeds it's capable of, on the lower 2.4 gigahertz, the LITE will do 300 megs, and the 2 top ones will do 450 megs. In terms of at the 500 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz, the LITE and the long range here will do 867 meg, where this one will actually do 1300 meg. This is really where it comes into its own, because a lot of devices are using 5 gigahertz now. It's probably the most common one on it. And in terms of the PoE modes, all the rest of it, that's relatively simple. And the final thing that it comes down to is range, okay? So we'll just say you were happy enough with 867 megs, but you wanted to cover a pretty wide diameter from where you are. Well, the bottom one, in terms of the LITE and the Pro, both have a range of 122 meters, but the long range one here has a range of 183 meters, okay? So that's basically the 3 products all covered in one, and from that you can make a decision here. Basically what we're finding is people who are going and putting them in their domestic houses and just want to have it at the back, something like that, boost out the signal, cover a courtyard, something like that, reasonably sheltered, to go with something like this. People who have small commercial spaces will normally go with the LR long range one because it can cover a courtyard, things like that, especially if it's in a covered area out the back. And the Pro ones there, where people have a very big area, they want to use the minimum units to cover it, and they want to have high speed all the way through. That's where this one comes in. They're great products, really, really fly off the shelf. And now that we have 3 products here, we're quite confident we have great range.